Hallo Cherise, kan jy my hoor? Gee my net 'n thumbs up asseblief. Thumbs up net vir enigiemand wat my kan hoor. Tot ek die internet reg kry. Goeienaand mense, kan julle my hoor? Laat weet my net asseblief. Hallo Hugo. Yes, alright, thanks Cherise. Hallo Anne-Marie, hallo Prof Aubrey. Hallo Erlita, my 2IC. Hallo Albert, lekker om jou weer te sien. Goeienaand, goeienaand, goeienaand. Hi Garth. Hallo my pop. Hi Colin, hi Colin. I was going to wait for 100 people to join, but I see 100 people as well has already joined, so I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm going to kick things off. Good evening to all of you. Goeienaand aan almal van julle, ons UIM ondersteuners en ons lede, all our supporters and our members. Thank you for joining this live broadcast. I promise that tonight's going to be very informative. It's going to be very interesting, controversial as always, but truthful, which is exactly what we are. So ek dink julle gaan vanaand baie interessant vind. Ons gaan raak op 'n paar teerpunte, maar ons gaan 'n lekker gesprek hê, ek en Neil. As you know, for those of you that have obviously seen the banner, Neil will be joining me shortly. I'm just waiting for his request to sign in. And then we will have a lekker debate tonight with, we've got some interesting topics that we are going to discuss tonight. Before we start though with the formal discussion, I would like to ask all of you listening and all of you that are going to watch the recording, please sign up and become UIM members. Registration is free and doesn't cost a cent. There's an option for those of you that are willing to help us every month with a small donation as well. There's an option for you to, there is a option that you can select that allows you to do that. But please sign up, please help us grow this party and build the UIM. Then obviously also we are reaching out to the public and asking people to volunteer to become representatives of the UIM in the local areas. We've already got a whole bunch of people that have been appointed as UIM reps all over the country. And then obviously with the 2026 local elections looming or just around the corner, we are also looking for people that want to potentially contest these elections as candidates. So you are welcome to contact us, send us an email at info@uimsa.org. Or you can just contact us. Madeleine will post the WhatsApp number in the comment section of the screen. So please reach out to us. We are looking for more party representatives, obviously, and we want to make sure that we contest as many municipal elections and enter as many of those elections as possible in 2026. So we are busy appointing our candidates as we speak. We are busy grooming them. We are conducting workshops. So if you are interested, please reach out to us. Thank you for joining. I see Neil is online. If you can just maybe send me a request so that I can... Oh, I need to invite him. How does this work? Madeleine, help me. Give me 1 second. Let me just quickly invite Neil. Just bear with me for a second. I'm just trying to find him here. Please excuse me just for a second while I quickly just look for Neil. No, I think Neil needs to send me an invitation. Neil, where are you? There are you. Oh, there we go. There we go. Give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Will be joining us in just a second. So I'm going to let Neil quickly just say a few words, and then we are going to kick off the discussion. And then we're obviously going to discuss the first topic of the evening, which will be South Africa versus the USA. So, as you know, that has been a hot topic on everyone's lips in the last couple of weeks. We all saw the fiasco that took place in the Oval Office. Funny enough, we've heard very little after that whole discussion in the Oval Office. We don't know what was said behind closed doors. We haven't really received any updates. I haven't seen any proposed amendments to current legislation and laws. I haven't seen any policy changes, and people are still singing "Kill the Boer, kill the farmer." So, yeah, there's a lot to make from that, but hopefully Neil will be able to give us his opinion or give us some insights, or maybe he has some information that he would like to share with us with regards to that whole situation and where we are currently at with regards to our relationship with the United States. So, Neil, are you there? Can you hear me? I can't see you. You're not on the. Yeah, I'm not picking you up on the screen. I can hear you, but there's no visuals.
Yeah, I can see myself on the screen, and you are at the top.
Yes.
So I can clearly see you. I don't think the problem is with me. Ek kan jou duidelik sien.
Can you guys see Neil? Can I just get some? Yeah, can everybody just let me know?
Jock, shall I exit and rejoin again? I know
Please
that
do.
you and I come from an era where ons nog die posduif gebruik.
Exactly. Yeah, please do so. Thank you.
I'm going to go out and redo it, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, let's try that again. Apologies. Oh, I see everybody can see Neil. I can't see Neil. So when he joins again, we'll just carry on. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. Let's quickly try that again. Now, sorry, Prez, I can't see you, but everyone can see the both of us. So I think let's just continue.
Yeah, maybe it's a good sign. Ek lyk maar 'n bietjie rough.
I have, are there any words that you would like to quickly say? Maybe just give us a health update, and then we can start with our first topic, which is obviously USA, South Africa, where we are at the moment. So maybe just say a few words, and then you can start things off, and let's start that discussion.
Yeah, Jacques, good to see you. Saw you a couple of weeks ago, and that was a Christmas bonus. But good to see the viewers. Good to see everybody. I know I see them every Sunday, and Marlies, they make sure that my face goes out as much as possible, which is a good and a bad thing. Marcus, yeah, I think you can't see it, Jacques, but I think the rest of the people can see the massive scarring on my face at the moment. It is the burning of the skin of the chemo that goes in, and then on your whole face it starts to burn, and it leaves these huge blisters, which is a consequence of the chemo. So I don't want people to worry. I look worse than what I am. I wake up in the morning getting a fright and wonder met watter donderse skam het ek nou weer gesak gisterand. Yeah, Jacques, I think, you and I had a long chat to make a decision if we would be public about my cancer or not. We took that 5 years ago. That's how long I've fought cancer. I've started to fight cancer in 2021, as you know, which was colon cancer. We cut it out. It came back on the liver. We chemoed it out. And about 3 months ago, it now attacked the liver and the lungs. And a decision was made that we double the dose of chemo. Now, Jacques, I want to spend some time on this tonight. Because we get so many people. It's a miracle that pray for us and that are with me on this journey. I mean, I can't even think about you that's been with me more than 2 decades, to walk this. And soveel mense wat vir my bid elke dag. We're on the new chemo. We are 3 months on it now. We have to be every second Friday. Hy slaan my. I'm not a guy that tends to lie. Hierdie ding, hy rol my. And Jacques, I want to quickly tell people, thousands of people send me alternatives. They send me things to use and ivermectin and all that. And I appreciate that. That's one way of people caring. But I've taken a decision in my life, right or wrong, like so many decisions that we will again talk about tonight, where you don't know, hindsight is a perfect science. Jy kan sê ek moes nie en ek mos nie, maar dit doen jy net nadat jy terugkyk, jy weet. En everybody dies. Everybody dies for a reason. Everybody dies eventually. I'm not prepared to die. I'm going to fight this every day of my life. But I have decided to stick with chemo. And I have decided to continue with my oncologist. It's my decision. Right or wrong, it doesn't matter. To continue with what I'm doing. What is shocking though? Shocking. And that's why I posted last night a post, I think you saw it, where I said, being a person that can justify my fight always for humanity, even if it was in the apartheid era, if it was in the Mandela era, and now I call this my third fight in politics. Die derde keer wat ek nou moet beklei teen 'n land, teen 'n party, teen 'n klomp hyenas. En op dieselfde tyd moet ek vir my lewe beklei. Maar Jacques, kan jy imagine? Iemand skryf op Twitter vandag dat ons moet nie worry oor hierdie verraaier nie. Dat kanker hom sal vat. En hy hoop dit vat hom stadig. Laat hy kan lei. Hulle skryf dit op Twitter. Waar my kinders is. 'n Ander man wat baie mense hier ken, en ek gaan nie sy naam noem nie, maar hy's 'n dokter. Almal ken hom hier. Daar's baie mense wat vanaand gesê het ek moet met hom praat. Skryf 2 dae gelede op 'n Facebook page dat hy vir almal sy intelligensie en sy mediese raad probeer gee, wat natuurlik sy opsie is, maar dis my liggaam, dis my siel, dis my lewe, en hy skryf op Facebook, Jacques, dat hy gaan nie meer worry om sy hulp aan te bied nie, hy trek maar sy skouers op, en dan skryf hy dat mense soos Darren Scott, en die ouens in die UIM, dit is ek, dat ons maar moet doodgaan, as ons hier wil luister. Hy skryf dit, dat ek maar moet doodgaan. Dit is 'n mediese dokter wat geregistreer is by die Suid-Afrikaanse Mediese Raad. As ek nie verkeerd is nie. Who took an oath to be compassionate. So, daar is net 2 voorbeelde van wat ek moet deurgaan. En Jacques, ek is in hierdie plek omdat ek in die politiek is. Ek is nie hier vir lewe nie. Ek is in die politiek. Kan ek sê, dit is my werk. This is my job. I'm a politician. I chose this job. It's not an easy job, but I've given my life for the past 5 years to now fix what the past was broken and give it everything I've got, and then people still say that about you. They don't pay me, Jacques. They don't pay you. We don't have to take this because someone says, but you get a salary. We do this because we care. We actually care. So sometimes, you know, it hurts you that people can be so inhumane. Maar daar kom die mens uit, né? As jy die Bybel lees, het ek al baie keer met mense gestryd dat daar moet tog tye wees waar God, where God was disappointed in humanity. And this is one of the things I wanted to put out there tonight. It won't stop us. It hurts, but it's part of my job. There are people that will never forgive me, and I would like to know them. I would like to meet them, because, Jacques, as you know, there's not been a singular person that I've not met in person that has not liked me. And after my debate of telling them what reality and what power is behind power and how it works, where they don't walk away and go, I'll stand behind that man. So I wanted to just get that off my chest. I'm fighting for my life, but I'm okay. You can see I'm here tonight. I've got a smile. I'm with you. I'm with the people that I love. And one thing that is important, Jacques, is I don't have time to lie. I don't have time to fake it anymore. And I don't have time to keep my mouth shut in defense of the people of this country. Like it or not, if I'm not your cup of tea, move on. But I know that the UIM, which has its ups and downs, which struggles to get our finances and get money, and you know, the people will get shocked if they knew that a party like the DA runs on a budget, the ANC runs on a budget of more than 20-30 million a month, Jacques. We're lucky if we get 15,000 rand a month. That's a fact. You can come look at our bank accounts. We don't get any money. Yet we are the largest, undeniable. You can ask Marlize. We are the largest social media outreach party in this country. That when Marlize puts out the stats, that over a period of 6 months, we nearly get 8 to 9 million views. Yet we can't turn the UIM to the next phase to get going. We are fighting not to get our voice heard. We are fighting to make sure that the people that stuff all the things up in this country hear us very loudly. So medically, that's where I am, Jacques. Ons vat hom, but I have given you my word that I'll fight this thing. I will fight it because I have prayer. I have thousands of people that love us, and it's because of them that I still, and you, irrespective of your bread and butter, you know, we still come back at night. We still people for our work, and we go phone. We fight for 5 years now, you and I, in a trench since the day that we started this thing in a bloody garage. And I hope that explains it to a lot of people. I love them. I appreciate their care. Just pray for me. Pray for the party. Pray for you. Pray for the SG. Pray for Marlie. For everybody. But let's pray. Maar op dieselfde tyd moer hulle. Dit is wat ons vanaand oor gaan praat. So tonight we'll cover quite a lot of subjects. Maar julle moet maar julle self ingespe. Julle moet maar daai donderse seatbelts aansit. Because tonight I've agreed no holds barred. No question I will not answer. I am not going to take stuff to the grave.
Thank you, Prez. Yeah, and so yeah, let's start with that first topic of discussion tonight, obviously, which is USA versus South Africa. Ek het vroeër gesê dat ons het almal die fiasco gesien in die Oval Office daar in die Withuis, en almal was in rep en roer, en dit was headlines gewees, en ewe skielik voel dit so asof die dinge stille dood gesterf het. We all heard that there were negotiations and talks that happened behind closed doors after that meeting. We've had, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't heard anything being said about what was discussed in that meeting afterwards. And as I said earlier, I haven't seen any proposed amendments to current legislation. I see the Kill the Boer song is still being sung. Ek sien nêrens sien ek enigstens in die koerante dat daar jy weet enige veranderings is aan enige van hierdie diskriminerende wette op die horison. I don't see anything. Is there anything that you can maybe tell us that we don't know? But it kind of feels to me that this was dis nou 'n groot cracker, bomcracker wat afgegaan het en nou is dit net ewe skielik doodstil.
Jacques, no, you're very right. This hasn't died a death. This has been murdered. This has not been a consequence of no reaction. This is a on-purpose silence of what happened overseas. And the reaction is clear that when they went over there, they had never the intention, not one of those people that are politicians, to go there and to fix stuff. They were not prepared. They were not ready. With all due respect, what they did do is all of them, including Johan Rupert and the rest of that merry fair. Actually, if you think about it, Jacques, like I do, and analyze stuff, they actually went and told, listen, it's actually not just white people that are being murdered on farms, it's everybody. Can you imagine sitting in the White House and telling people that we don't just have a farm murder problem, we have a murder that's out of control, wat hulle maak wittes en blankes en hulle maak ons almal dood. What kind of PR, what kind of public relations, what kind of brain do you have when you go over there and you have an opportunity to be honest? You see, this is the problem with our politicians, all of them. Blou, groen, rooi, wit, blank, almal van hulle is moertoe. Not one of those people have the finesse, the statesmanship, or the capability to get something done on Donald Trump's terms. They're not ready for him. And the worst is, Jacques, it's like when you go hunting and you stand on the back of a bakkie en jy het een skoot op 'n blou wille bees, né? En jy trek jy sneller en 'n skoot gaan af en jy skrik. That's what they did in America. They went there and they claimed to be ambushed. You didn't know? You didn't know there's CIA in South Africa? You didn't know that there are people that are spy intelligence services of the military and there's CIA in this country, sitting at a coffee, probably looking at you at the Starbucks. You didn't know that they're here? You didn't know that they monitor us? I come from there. So you weren't prepared. Waar's ons ouens? Where's our guys? I'll tell you where our guys are. They're probably sitting in a Vito van and they painted the bloody windows black because they didn't understand tint. And then they're screwing up the cables inside wat hulle probeer jou afluister waar hulle so stel kom. Daar's pokkel. Daar gaan niks aan nie. Hierdie mense sit en hulle is dommer as slanggemors. Nou hoor gou vir my, hulle is 'n klomp rotgrotte. They went there and they tried to say something to someone that is much more prepared, much more intellectual and much more informed than the Skobbel-D and Skobbel-Da that went there on our cost and came back and said they claim a victory. What? So it was an absolute mess. It was a terrible mistake. We gained nothing from it. And we came back and did we change anything? Did we decide as a country, that is now the country, absolute pompous coward, Cyril Cupcake Ramaphosa, sitting there as if he's doubled up. Hy lyk of hy in 4 laag geskep is. He sits there and he's absolutely surprised that there are white crosses in this country. Die dom donner. Now he sits there and he even says to Donald Trump, is that in South Africa? Nee, maar jy moet op 'n kanoe geplaas word Mozambique toe. Because if you don't even know the history that's happening in your own country. And then secondly, he says, he's totally against Julius Malema. He's totally against Julius Malema. He's totally against singing the song of Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer. They are a small little minority Nyanya group in the corner. And then Donald Trump says, really? It looked like 100,000 people in that stadium to me. Again, he knew more than we knew. Now, here's the crux. We're playing with a word here. Ons is besig om met 'n woord hier te donder. 'n Woord. En hierdie woord is nou die squashbal tussen lande, tussen media, tussen mense. It's the word genocide. It's a word. Now, if you've got Grok 3, AI, you've got Google, go Google it. It's there. I don't have to tell you. I mean, I've got standard 8. Maak die klont uit in die bos. Ek weet om 'n R1, 'n FN en 'n AK uit mekaar uit te haal. Ek hoef nie biologie matriek te hê with a dissection of the bloody frog amoeba. Ja, ons kan hulle moer. Hoor gou vir my. The word genocide. Jacques, it doesn't matter what the word is. Genocide, mass murder, murder. It doesn't matter what the word is. What matters is that people are dying. So we get stuck. Ons het nou mekaar so moer toe gehardloop met genocide en af genocide en op genocide. Mense is besig om dood te gaan. And then John Steenhuisen sits there and says he's going to try and make farm murders in this country a priority 1 crime. Anything? So I hear their statements. I hear that Ian Cameron in Parliament said that we should do that. That's a bold step. He's one of the few on the opposition benches that I actually listen to, because he's not a politician. And he's the chairperson of the Police Portfolio Committee, and he asked that farm murders be declared number 1. But Jacques, that's paper. It remains paper. Until we don't get up in this country and physically show the people that we are willing to take Nyalas and Caspers and guns and rockets and drones and helicopters and go and hunt these people down physically with spotlights, with infrared, night vision, and go find them. Instead of waiting for them to attack us, we attack them. Until that doesn't happen, it's going to be paper. It's going to help us nothing. The farmers are going to die. So that is what I have proposed. I have put it together. You and I have spoken about it. I have consulted various structures. You see, Jacques, that is when people start asking you, but what do? You're just on Facebook. What you see is a fifth of what we do a day. So I'm afraid America will result into nothing. They're going to claim that they have stopped the 30% tariffs. What a lot of rubbish. Trump has already reversed most of the tariffs that he has posted in the world. And by the way, the Supreme Court of America said that he cannot just do that. It is unconstitutional. So they're going to claim it. The DA is going to claim it. The ANC is going to claim it. And all die ander kol wappers wat daar was, and they're going to say, we did it. No, you didn't. Secondly, they're going to say they are fighting tooth and nail to stop AGOA, to ensure that AGOA gets included in our packages. Well, they pray. Thirdly, they're hoping that Donald Trump comes here for the G20. He's not agreed yet, Jack, but they already claimed he's landing and hulle maak al klaar potholes reg. So, my overall contestation of America, ek dink daai aand na daai ding het ek 'n bietjie op Facebook het ek gewend ek stap eergister in die mall met 'n keppie en 'n oom kon my toe hy sê jy kan nie wegkruip hier, die beer. Ek haal my keppie af, ek sê vir hom, middag oom. Hy sê ooh, jy was weer kwaad die ander aand met Cyril. Ek sê ek is baie jammer om hy sê moenie sê hy sê moenie jammer sê die dollar vir hulle, ek en tant Minnie, ons agter jou. The people are gutful. The people are not stupid. And the people of this country know what's going on. And that's the biggest problem, is when they went there and came back, they tried to lie to us. They tried to bamboozle. Some people saying, but I was at Nampo. Jy was waar? Ja, maar ook ek was by Nampo. En omdat ek by Nampo, ja? Gaan vir koekie by Nampo. You know what the people went to go do? They went to go ask creep. Hulle gaan gat kry, Jacques. Hulle gaan gat kry by Nampo. Kan ek nou vir jou sê, ek sê het. Ek sal nooit seker genooi word Nampo toe nie. Maar ek sê het vanaand, dat die bestuur van Nampo dit toegelaat het, dat hulle vir Paul Masatile kap kyk in die res van die kwartale, dat hulle daar ingelaat het om ons daar te beledig, is die skuld van Nampo, en ek sê nou vir jou, die boere, ons Afrikaners, dit was, ek het gehoor, Jacques, toe Paul Masatile praat, toe Cyril praat, en die ander, toe klap hulle hande vir hulle, hulle het hande geklap vir hulle, toe hulle sê, dat die mense wat uit hierdie land uitgaan is cowards, hulle is lafaards. Hoor my? Jacques, ek weet nie of jy gesien het die ander aand, wil hulle my uitgooi. Hulle my uitgooi uit die raad uit. Ek is op daai punt. Ek is op daai punt, Jacques, waar as ek in die parlement was, dan moet jy nou mooi hoor, as hulle elke dag uitgooi, en as een van die laities, hulle keppie, hulle helmet of hulle waterbotteltjie lig, so siek as wat ek hier is, hoor gou vir my, in my hart kan ek jou nog steeds donder. Ek sê, jou slaan met 'n stoel, my broer, want op die einde van die dag, as hulle maniere teen ons verloor, as hulle etiket, as hulle respek vir jou verloor, dan moet jy nie terugsit en sê, jammer oom, jammer tannie, donder om. So ek sê net, ons het papbroeke, wat oorgaan en terugkom, en hulle is papbroeke vandag, en hulle bly papbroeke. Dis my Amerika visie.
Thanks, Prez. Ja, dit is teleurstellend. Ek dink daar's baie mense wat so hier diep binne in hulle self gejuig het toe ons almal gekyk het wat daar op die skerm aangaan, maar ouder gewoonte. Jy weet, hulle people move on to bigger and better things quicker than you think. Jy weet, Amerika is klaar weer besig met hulle eie probleme en met die res van die wêreld se probleme. So America was never going to solve our problems.
No.
Ons is bly dat sekere goed is. We are happy that certain things have been brought to light and that there's international attention on these things now, and at least this government cannot just simply lie to the rest of the world anymore, because hulle het vir soetkoek opgevreet vir soveel jare. So at least if there's one thing that came out of this, one thing that's good, is die feit dat ek dink die wêreld se oë daarom so 'n bietjie oop gegaan. Wat nou gaan gebeur remains to be seen.
There's two good things that happened. And it's breaking news on Facebook tonight. Number one, we saw who the people are. We see their character when they stand on an international platform and they cannot handle being statespeople or being diplomats. There is no diplomatic core there. You see, Jacques, that's the problem. The people think if you're a soldier, you can lead. If you're a politician, you can lead. If you're a dominee or a pastor, you can lead. It's not so, Jacques. I've looked at statesmen. I've looked at people. People always say to me, but Neil, you've been in government. Yes, I have. I've worked with big people, Jacques. I've not worked with small people. I've went to go look at even as far as the people that used to be, verwoord. In those eras, how the people in those era used to manage and do stuff, and people say, but it's apartheid. Forget about it. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about people's way, like Fidel Castro, like Churchill, one of my favorites, like JF Kennedy, like Golda Meir. Yes, people like Mandela, people like Archbishop Tutu. I knew all of them. And I took a little bit of everybody and watched how they do it. Hoe word dit gedoen? I've watched clips and movies of Ronald Reagan, probably one of the most eloquent diplomats in the world. I've looked at how they do it, and I've learned now at 56 that it's not just the soldier in you. It's not just the diplomat in you. It's not just the human in you. But it is the leadership that's a combination of all of that. Mense dink jy kan net 'n leier wees. So Jacques, what kind of leader do we need in this country today? So you've got to sit back. Kom ons sit gou terug. And then let's quickly discuss after the American topic, which I need to announce something now. But it is hinging on the fact of my verduideliking van leierskap. People like a bold leader. They like a strong leader, Jacques. They like a person that doesn't mince words. They like a person that calls it straight. And they like a person that takes a decision no matter if that decision is right or wrong. Hulle hou van 'n leier wat 'n sterk man is wat sê ja. En dis die verskil tussen 'n lafhartige leier en 'n vooraanstaande leier is dat 'n vooraanstaande leier staan by sy besluite. Al val hy. Ons het baie van daai leiers gehad. Ons het hulle nie. Jacques, kom ek noem hulle. En ek gaan hulle noem, ek is jammer, want dit is feit. Kom ons kyk na John Steenhuisen, Cyril Ramaphosa, Kaiton McKenzie, Dr. Corneille Mulder, die IFP se Schlabisa, Julius Malema, Zuma daai ding van die MK party, Patricia de Lille, ou frikadel, Bantu Holomisa, dis ons leiers. Daai mense wat ek nou net genoem het, John Steenhuisen, Cyril Ramaphosa, Julius Malema, Corneille Mulder, Jacob Zuma, Bantu Holomisa,
Mashaba,
Herman Mashaba. Watter een van daai vat jy oorlog toe? Ja, sê jy my. Watter een van daai, sonder om 'n karakter aan te val, watter van daai vat jy oorlog toe? In jou opinie?
Van almal wat jy daar genoem het? Well, out of past experiences and having met some of them, I would say the only one that springs to mind is probably Dr. Corneille.
Because he's
the only one
a diplomat.
Yes.
Because he can debate. Maar kan hy oorlog toe gaan? You see, Jacques, let me quickly tell you something. Churchill was not the best prime minister in the world. He had Neville Chamberlain, he had all those orators and those people that were coming from class. But Winston Churchill became the prime minister when the world went to war. And because he was an admiral in the Navy, he was the only one, in my opinion, qualified that could go and lead the country into the Second World War. That's a fact. So in certain times in your life, you need to put the right person with the right skill, with the right attitude, with the right mechanics into place. And at this current time, hear me well, I'll say it. This country doesn't need a diplomat. This country doesn't need a guy that can make nice speeches. And I'll tell you why. Can I tell you why? This country is in a state of undeclared domestic war. Moet ek dit weer sê? En niemand wil dit sê nie. Maar ek sê dit. En ek het bewyse. Die Suid-Afrikaanse Republiek op hierdie oomblik is in 'n staat van onverklaarde domestiese oorlog. Ons is in daai staat op hierdie oomblik en nie een mens wil dit erken nie. Ons hou ons bek en ons sê dit is crime. Dit is kriminele. Jacques, in watter land gebruik hulle AK-47's? In watter land gebruik hulle plofstof? In watter land gebruik hulle AR-15's en R5'e in kriminele situasies? In watter land? Daai wapens word gebruik in oorlog. Behalwe in die Republiek van Suid-Afrika, waar daai wapens gebruik word om te steel, te roof en te moord. Die dag wat hierdie mense, en hulle het nie die ballas nie. Daar is hy. Kom die eerste skote. They don't have the balls in this country to get up and admit we are in a state of domestic war. Hulle weier. Nou donder hulle Amerika toe, now they go ask for drones. Jacques, since when does a drone arrest anybody?
It doesn't.
Since when does Starlink arrest anybody? So jy gaan nou bo jou hoor maar jy gaan nog steeds oor kappa. Ons moet nie daai drones vra nie. Ons is verby daai drones. Ons soek drones wat armament kan dra. Het jy my gehoor? We want drones that can carry armament. Want as daai vark oor daai heining klim en hy klik, dan wil ek nie hoor klik, ek wil hoor gaba. Ons moet hom met 'n missiel uithaal. Nou sê die mense, dit is 'n verskrikking. Luister gou. Dis wat jy doen in oorlog. Hulle het oorlog teen ons verklaar, Jacques. Hulle maak ons vrouens en ons kinders en ons mans dood. Hulle doen dit op die veiligste manier. So weet jy wat? Hy soek 'n missiel uit sy gat. So ons moet nou gaan sit en ons moet gaan sê, hoe beklei ons hierdie ouens? En die enigste manier is, vat hulle uit. Take them out. Vat die konstitusie en druk hom waar die son nie Dinsdag sal skyn nie. Hierdie human rights ding, dit moet nou einde kry en die konstitusie moet nou hersien word, Jacques. Jy's 'n wetsgeleerde, jy's 'n reggeleerde. Ons het die verkeerde konstitusie vir die verkeerde bliksems wat ons op hierdie oomblik moor. Ek het dit gesê, vat my hof toe. Nou, ek kan nie wag nie. So, hier is die breaking news, Jacques. Laas week is Neil de Beer, Jacques Taljaard en 3 ander mense wat ons nog moet identifiseer, is genooi Amerika toe. Daar is hy. Ek het lank met jou gepraat. Ek het vir jou gesê, daai oggend weet jy wie ek gaan sien het in Pretoria. En ons is genooi. Ons video's het nou daar getrek. So, ek is siek, maar ek is magtig. So, ek en 'n spannetjie mense gaan 'n bietjie Amerika toe, ons gaan kak maak. Ons gaan vir die uitstoei mense vra om ons daar te ontmoet. Ons gaan elke Suid-Afrikaner wat in daai area is, ons gaan 'n protes, 'n stille staan protes buite Washington DC, gaan ons buite die White House hou. Ek daag elke Suid-Afrikaner sodra ons die datums kry en die datums gee om ons by Washington by die Withuis te ontmoet. Ons gaan daar staan en ons gaan die waarheid praat. Ons gaan nie moeilikheid maak nie. Ons gaan dit vooraf reël, ons gaan toestemming kry. Ons het genoeg kontakte daar. En dan gaan ons die wêreld nou nooi. Ons gaan CNN kry. Al kry ons 100 Suid-Afrikaners. Ek soek 1000. Daar moet meer as 1000 in Washington wees. Dat ons daai oggend met ons plakate gaan stil staan en die waarheid uitlek. En ek sal met almal praat. En hoor my gou, I'm saying it now, ek is nie AfriForum nie. Ek is nie solidariteit nie. Ek is 'n werfding. As ek kwaad raak, Jacques, raak ek raak kwaad vir my mense in hierdie land, so ek kom. So, hier is die challenge. Ons het eers R2000 in die bank nie, so dit gaan vir ons so 5 maaltye kry seker by Seattle. Maar ons moet gaan, Jacques. Hulle het ons nou genooi, ons moet gaan. So, ek gaan vir die mense vanaand hier vra, I ask you tonight, we need your help, we need financial help. Ons het donasies nodig. Jacques, ons het 'n budget wat ons gaan bymekaar sit. Daai budget sal by volgende week Maandag. By next week, Monday afternoon, you will release it piece by piece, stuk by stuk. Jy sien, ons is nou nie Paul Mashatile en die dripdrolle, wat 180.000 net op 'n hotel spandeer. Ons gaan 'n lekker plekkie kry, lekker B&B. En ons sal die hele budget uitsit. Ons gaan vir, ek dink 3 of 4 dae. Jacques, ek en jy gaan. Ek wil graag iemand hê van die religious conclave. Ek wil graag iemand hê van die geestesrealm. Iemand wat in die geloof staan wat welbekend is. Ek soek iemand. Daar's baie welbekende pastore en mense in die land wat ek wil saamvat. Ek wil baie graag 'n boer vat. Maar ek soek nie Waipolloi nie. Ek weet daar is landbouassosiasies, daar's die Gauteng, daar's Saai, daar's al die mense. Ek weet nie of 'n man, ek sal graag as ons vir Theo kan vat. Jy weet, as ons nou vir Saai se president, as hy nou saam met ons kon gaan, dan het ons, en ek dink hy's ook maar nou redelik gatvol, he's quite gatvol, so if someone like that would come, and then a prominent businessman. So dit is 5 mense wat ons wil saamvat, want elke een moet gaan praat oor waar ons gaan, maar ons gaan net vir een ding, Jacques. We are going to tell them about what they're doing in this country, and the truth. That is bullshit about Julius, that he has no influence. Ons gaan hulle daar vat, so. Dit is breaking news, ons weet nog nie wanneer nie. Ek is besig om met Rob Burshoff ook te praat, maar Rob was klaar daar. Rob has been there. So Rob has been there, the president, allemaal was daar. Ons was nog nie daar nie. We've not been there. So, we need your help. Ja, it's going to cost money. Ek het die ander dag met 'n ou gepraat, goeie pel van my, hy is in Amerika, Jacques, hy het klaar aangebied om my kaartjie te betaal. Klaar. So, ons het nog 4 kaartjies nodig. Ons het die manne daar aan die ander kant nodig. Jy weet, daar's baie manne wat daar werk, wat by ons staan. So, we would like to, we know Rob Burshoff. We speak to Rob, but Rob has his own agenda. Ons is saam met Rob, ons verstaan wat hy sê, maar this is a UIM mission. This is a Neil de Beer mission. En ons sal daai by volgende week uitsit. Ja, Theo. Ek sal graag wil hê hy moet saam met ons gaan, groot man. So Jacques, that came out of that discussion en my reguit praat. En ons gaan met baie spesiale mense praat daar in Amerika. Ons gaan nie net met die politieke mense praat nie. Ons gaan 'n bietjie met die ander mense praat, jy weet die mense wat altyd die goed wat politieke mense moet doen. Ons gaan 'n bietjie met hulle praat. Ek gaan nou nie te veel sê nie, maar ek kom uit daai geskiedenis uit. So ek ken daarmee manne. So ja, Jacques, Neil de Beer and Key, we are going. And we would like your support. We would like your financial support. Ons gaan ook wees met die totaal. Dit gaan wees vir vlugkostes, meetings, verblyf. En I hope that you will support us. Ons kan dit nie sonder ons supporters doen nie. Jy weet Jacques, R1000, R200 vir die groot manne wat al hierdie ander manne altyd help. Ons het nou julle hulp nodig. Ek is bereid om te gaan. Ons sal hierdie kanker ding uitsorteer. Jacques, ek wil nie hê die mense moet nou al begin betaal nie. Kan ek net dit vra? Ek sien mense is nou besig om ons rekening te plaas. Ek wil net gou vra dat geen geld nou inbetaal moet word vir ons Amerika ekspedisie. Ek wil net dit vra. Die normale donasies wat gegee word vir die UIM gaan voort asseblief. Ons moet hierdie geld, hoeveel ook al dit is, en dit gaan redelik wees, moet ons ringfence en ons moet seker maak as die mense dit deponeer, dat hulle daar sal sit, USA trip. Julle moet dit nie asseblief nou doen nie. Maandag aand sal ons dit launch met die bankrekeninge, met alles wat ons nodig het, die totale bedrag, en dan sal ons dit aftel, Jacques, elke week soos dit kom. Ons sal 'n datum vasmaak, en dan gaan ons. So ek wil graag daar die volgende 90 dae, wil ek daar wees. En dan gepraat ons die waarheid, en kyk ons hoe daai bil bak. So that's America, Jacques.
Thanks, Prez. Ja, this exciting, baie exciting news. Ek is bly, I'm glad you pulled it off. Well done. Ja, soos jy gesê het, ek was bewus van die gesprekke wat jy gehad het hier in Pretoria, maar ek sien jy het nou baie stil gehou, en nou het ek ook nou die nuus eerstehands by jou gekry. So ek is baie excited. Ek dink dit gaan 'n bietjie tyd laat mense die rou waarheid hoor. Uit mense.
Hulle dreig ons.
Ja.
Hulle is klaar besig om ons te dreig. Jacques, they're already threatening us. They say that if I go there, because they know me, they're already saying that I will be watched, I will be charged with treason, I will be, wat soos hulle met AfriForum en Solidariteit en al hulle kinders gaan vir my, gogga maak vir Baba Bang. Want as jy my in die tronk sit, dan stig ek 'n party in die tronk, die United Independent Correctional, sê ek het niks om te verloor nie. Die enigste ding wat ek het om te verloor is dat Suid-Afrikaners wil waai, dat Suid-Afrikaners gemoor word en dat Suid-Afrikaners nie meer 'n stem het nie. Ek sal hy stem wees. Ek sal hom vat. Hulle moet my maar maak wat hulle wil. Ek weet ek het 'n goeie prokureur en ek hou van Kentucky. Sal die eerste keer wees wat iemand my probeer toesluit of doodmaak nie. Jacques, I'm okay. I've got the hand of God with me. En kyk, ons het 800 mense op hierdie live vanaand. Hulle gaan by ons staan en ek sien uit, so let's put the mission together.
President, then moving on to our second topic, GNU. I don't think there's much more to say about the GNU that you didn't discuss in your BizNews interview on Sunday. Ek wil net noem, ons kry baie navraag van mense af wat vir ons e-mail stuur en vir ons sê, hoekom pik ons op die DA? Why are you picking on the DA? Why are you blasting the DA? You know, it's not their fault. What's happening in the GNU? They don't have all the power. What if they are trying to make good decisions or whatever, but the ANC blah. Kom ek sê, my antwoord op wat ons nou vir die mense gereply het, en jy kan comment hierop, is ons pik nie op die DA nie. The only thing that we are doing is we are holding them accountable. They made a lot of promises prior to joining the GNU. You know, they were part of the multi-party charter with us. We had a charter agreement. That agreement specifically stipulated that none of us that were involved in that charter would form a government with the ANC. There were rumors of talks between the DA and the ANC way before the elections even happened, and the voting was not even finalized yet when the announcement came that they were going to form a coalition government with the ANC, thereby obviously exiting our charter and disregarding our agreement. So they made promises to us. They made a lot of promises to not only the multi-party charter partners, but also the people of South Africa prior to joining that GNU, saying that they were going to make sure that the ANC towed the line and they were going to hold them accountable, and that they would ensure that things like the Bella Bill would never pass. Baie beloftes gemaak. On multiple occasions, they threatened to leave the GNU and resign when things didn't go their way. Then things didn't go their way. They never resigned. They are still all there. And then we saw what happened in the Oval Office when their leader had an ample golden opportunity to set things straight, and he didn't do so. So we are not picking on the DA. We are just keeping them accountable, and we are holding them accountable to those commitments and promises they made to not only us as their partners in that multi-party charter, but the people of South Africa. So please don't see it as us picking on them. So, Prez, any comments on that?
I thought we're quite soft on them. I didn't know I was picking on them. If you want to see picking, then go watch my show on a Sunday, how I rip them all to pieces, but specifically the ANC. And I kry my elke liewe dag op hulle moer. So my ranking order at this current moment is without a doubt to launch a strategic active attack on the ANC lines, to attack their politics and to rip them to shreds on all the stuff that they are doing. My second target at this current moment is the DA, because not I don't like the DA is in opposition. Jacques, I'm not a member of the DA. I'm a member of the UIM. Have we spoken to them? Did I speak to them? Yeah. Have we spoken to many other parties for possible working together? Yeah. Have we worked at the multi-party charter level? Yeah. Did we sign a co-agreement with other parties? Well, my signature is there. We worked with 7 other parties, but they never and have never come through for us. You will remember, Jacques, we made a promise to the UIM that probably cost us. It cost us. It cost our seat. It cost our place in Parliament. It cost us. The truth be told, it will be told. We should have been there, Jacques. And you and I know why we're not there. And one day we will tell. It's horrific. The Skaldagri. And one of the reasons was, I said, you said, if there is a moment that we know that the DA was going to form a partnership with the ANC, that we would be out. And Jacques, a month before the national election, on the 29th of May, 2020, I think it's 4, ne? We walked out. We left the multi-party charter because of that. Now, this is where politics comes in. This is where the normal person is, ignorant to what happens in the background. It's global politics. You go where you can get the best. In other words, if you have to work and vote with 8 people, you work with them. You stand by them. Not because you like them, but because you're working towards an objective. Our objective at the multi-party was to govern. But we didn't get enough votes. And the ANC didn't go down enough. So hier staan ek en jy, ons is buite, moes nie buite wees nie. But here we are. And maybe, Jacques, it's not a bad thing that we are where we are at the moment. Because we are not loyal, we are not beholden to anybody. Anybody. If anybody, no matter the t-shirt you wear, is lying to the Republic of South Africa citizens, you're going to get it from us, man. I don't care who you are. DA, ANC, PA, you open game because you lie. And if you lie, you'll get it from us. Because we built our party on 5 C's. Jacques, let me quickly tell you, the GNU is not sitting together because they love each other. Let me quickly tell you, you went through how many meetings with me at the multi-party charter? Kyk, ek's besig met my boek. Dit is 'n chapter daai. Hoe hulle mekaar gesteek het. Hoe hulle mekaar probeer knive het. Hoe die een die ander ene probeer uitdoen het. Al die stories. Hulle gaan uitkom. And that's where you start to note that people are actually children. But you think these are leaders. I think, Jacques, you will agree, dit was een van die grootste oogopenaars. Is toe ons om daai tafel sit vir 'n jaar en ons kyk en ons sê vir mekaar, and these are the leaders. Jo. Daar's nie een persoon daar buite wat dit kan sê nie, Jacques. Hulle kan nie sê dat hulle meer as 60 meetings 'n jaar met die topleiers van 8 partye gesit het soos ons nie. En dis ons probleem. That's our problem. We know. So, Jacques, the GNU is there because the GNU is currently trying to keep something together which is absolutely difficult. It is an impossibility. And with the ANC that sits there, and that's why people say, yes, a Ferrari, yes, that I know my enemy. Show me one person in this country that is currently here that served both sides, that know both sides, and that is currently looking at both sides and going, maar jy het my verraai. Show me one individual that's capable at this moment in politics. Who? That was in MK. That was in the ANC. That knows Julius. Who, Jacques? I'll tell you who. Neil de Beer. He's the only person. So ek kan almal moer. And we are going to continue. As long as I live, as long as you live, as long as the people fight with us. En ek dink daar's 'n klomp mense, Jacques, wat nou spyt kry. I think there's a lot of people that came to me and they said, Neil, I want to, een vrou in Mosselbaai in trane wat vir my sê. Sy wil net vir my iets sê, sy het vir die DA gestem. Maar sy sê, I am lid. Maar sy het net gedink, hierdie verkiesing is te groot. Sy is nie alleen nie. Daar's duisende, Jacques. En nou wat ons sien, and what we see now, is that people are turning and saying, we made a mistake. We made a mistake on all those parties. Well, we can fix that. We are the only party that kept to our word for 5 years, Jacques, and we won't break it. So I think we are okay outside than inside at the moment.
Thanks, President. And then another name that popped up earlier in this discussion obviously was Julius Malema, once again, as always. And I think you referred to him as as having a so-called non-influence in what's happening in South Africa. That is how the world perceives it, or that is how they tried to explain it in the Oval Office.
They lied.
That is, yeah.
They lied.
So what I wanted to do tonight is I wanted to take some examples from history, past historical events, and I wanted to just make a point. And the point that I want to make is, and I want to use the first example, and I want to actually, you must please excuse me, but I want to take people back to the Second World War. And I want to refer people to what happened in Nazi Germany, where human atrocities and mass killings and crimes against humanity were committed, not by 2 people, or 3 or 4 people, by thousands of people. And those atrocities were witnessed by millions of people. I'm talking about German people. I'm talking about a whole country here that thought they were doing the right thing, that they thought that they were justified in doing what they were doing. How is that possible? How is it possible for a whole country and thousands of people to commit these atrocities and to turn a blind eye and feel justified in what they were doing? And the reason they felt that way was because of the power of speech, the power of words, of two people in particular, Adolf Hitler and Joseph Goebbels, who was, of course, the Minister of Propaganda. So all I wanted to sketch with this example is the power that lies in words and in speeches and in propaganda and in saying things and even songs that get sung. I mean, if you have a good orator like they were, if you have a message, the right message, or rather the wrong message, directed at the right people, or let's rather say the wrong people, at the right time, or let's rather say the wrong time, under the right conditions, or let's rather say the wrong conditions, can lead to absolute disaster. Second example, obviously, was the Rwandan genocide, where people in the space of 2 days took to the streets in the back of bakkies, made announcements over a loudspeaker, hijacked the radio stations, sent out messages, and 2 days later, neighbors walked across the road and chopped their neighbors into pieces with a panga. And in 90 days, 900 people were killed. So no one can come and tell me, or us for that matter, that, you know what, words are innocent and that there's no power in words and that these songs that get sung don't have any effect on what's happening in South Africa, especially with as it relates to crime. That is absolute nonsense. Because like I said, when these people that or motivated these events, they were good speakers. They were passionate speakers. They had a message. That message was unfortunately brought to the wrong people under the wrong circumstances. And the people reacted. People were influenced by it. People were influenced by the propaganda, by the words, by the speeches. They were indoctrinated. And that led to absolute disaster. So who's to say that this is not possible with what's happening in South Africa with that horrible song that keeps on getting sung? I still cannot for the life of me understand how any person in South Africa that is pro-peace and that pro-prosperity for the people of South Africa would condone that song and those words. So I just wanted to use those two examples just to illustrate how dangerous words can be and how dangerous propaganda and political rhetoric can be. I mean, we've got two prime examples that should serve as a lesson, but it doesn't seem to be the case. What's your comments on that?
Muammar Gaddafi, Benedetto Mussolini, Idi Amin, Adolf Hitler, Che Guevara, Fidel Castro, Nelson Mandela. These are all people that one or other time, Robert Mugabe, that got up at one or other time. Only one guy who had 4 guys or 5 guys around him that could carry the message, but it was always one guy. It was an orator. It was even Winston Churchill, you know, when he did his famous speech where he spoke about fighting them on the beaches. When he was done, that speech, I don't know if people know, was made to ask that the Parliament of the United Kingdom would go to war. And just as he did his speech and he sat down, one of his opposition got up and said, "What just happened?" And the one guy said to the other guy, "Winston Churchill just took the English language and sent it to war." We've had great orators in this country. We've had Eugene ter Blanche. We've had, don't take away the people, the old prime ministers, when you look at these guys, B.J. Vorster, even the Groot Crocodile, Nelson Mandela. When you look at these people, they are right and they can change a country like this. So there's many subjects, many people. You can take it back to Julius Caesar. In actual fact, you can take it to Jesus. You can take it to the times of the Crusades. So there's always been someone in history that comes in and changes history. And they will never be remembered for the change, they will be remembered for the evil that they've done. And Jacques, when you listen to all those names, most of them were evil. So the perpetuity to evil is better than the light. And I'm one of those that can tip very quickly. I can go either to take a crowd and we can talk about evil, or we can quickly talk about war. Now, let's go to South Africa, Jacques. You've got a president, luckily, at this current moment, that can't inspire a cactus to give juice to make a tequila. We are lucky. Yeah, ons is lucky om so dom ou te hê. Because he's inspiring to nothing. I mean, there at COVID, he cut out his own pep store camouflage to tell the army to go into where? Battle, or to go there and look for masks. So my waar het vir jou te sê, ek sal nie hierdie ou volg as hy vir my sê, daar's 'n vet vyf wat bo sit in die takkie. You need a soldier, you need people that are diplomatically aligned, that can take it, that can get up and say, no. Now let me explain Julius. Jacques, Julius Malema in a court of law. You know, normally you are under oath in a court of law. And this man was interrogated, if you can remember, on the Kill the Boer, Kill the Farmer song. He was in court, as ek nou nie verkeerd is nie. Hy was vir weke in die hof. Soos hulle hom probeer omring het en platveer. Ek is reg, want ek het daar goed gesit te kyk. And in this interrogation, under oath, the guy says to him, I think it's either Afriforum or Solidariteit's lawyer, poses a question, hy het seker lang hare gehad. Says to Julius Malema, am I right to say that you will call for the killing of whites? I challenge you to go find it. It's there. It's on YouTube. And Julius Malema says to that lawyer, in front of a judge, in front of court, and the world television, Julius says that he is prepared to issue an instruction to change the law that he can chase all the white people into the sea and then kill them. He says that. And then he says, when he's pushed by that attorney, will you call for the slaughter of people that are of white origin in this country? And he says, I am prepared to call for that. And then he adds, but not yet. He says that. That's on record. I think, Jacques, you know about it. I think, Jacques, we're stuck. Can you hear me?
No, I'm listening.
So my question was, do you know about that court case?
I know about that court case, and I know about that advocate that you're referring to with the long hair as well. He's a constitutional expert. I watched a podcast with him and Aaron Strutz the other night. So they spoke about this exact thing that you are mentioning now.
No.
And the fact that the Constitutional Court will not allow a review of the outcome.
But Jacques, that is another discussion, because have we now just given up? So because the Constitutional Court says, so no one is prepared to go to the International Court of Justice. No one. So no one has thought further to go to the ICJ. The same court that this government took Israel, are we not prepared to go there and put our case? Because, by the way, if people don't know it, Jacques, South Africa is a co-signature to abide by the rulings of the ICJ, are they not?
Yes.
So why is Afriforum or Solidariteit that gets all this millions, why don't they prepare and go? Go to court, go to the ICJ and charge them. So I'm stuck. Ek het nie die geld nie, maar as ek die geld gehad het, was ek Dinsdag daar. My papiere was klaar gemoer. We can't stop on that song. We can't stop on giving up because it's a murderous, hateful song. I know that song, by the way. Don't forget I'm an MK. I was an MK veteran. Don't forget about it. I sang that song. I detest that song. I can talk of that song. Who else? Dit is 'n vieslike liedjie wat op hierdie oomblik gesing word en ek was een van die mense wat verstaan, Jacques, that song can't be played anymore. So we've got to fight it. We've got to do everything. But I want to get past the song. Ons sit vas met die liedjie. Soos met genocide. Ons is alweer vas met 'n woord. That's not what's killing people, Jacques. It's murderers. Hulle kan maar Jan Piloot ook sing. Maar hulle kan nog steeds ons koppe afsny. Hulle kan nog steeds met ketelwater brand. So it's not about the song. Yeah, the song is a problem. But what is it actually about is that Julius Malema says that he's prepared to kill us. Did you hear that? That's 80 times worse than the song. Wragtig. And no one cares. There's not one person that has said he can't say that under law. Am I right? No one has taken him on. We just gave up at the song. But that man sat in a court of law and said that he is willing to kill us. But not yet.
Well, you saw Cyril's reaction when Trump asked him, why hasn't that man been arrested yet? So.
Yeah, because we've got a constitution. We're a democracy. Now, hoor gou vir my. Jacques, when you and I started, you said to me, one of the primary jobs is to keep you out of jail, isn't it? Jy gaan maar begin werk. Because things are coming and drawing a line in this country. So if a leader that is so-called insignificant, that has no influence in this country, can threaten the life of a nation, a people, which I'm part of. I'm a leader of some of those people, not all of them. Dan wil ek nou vanaand sê, jy moet kom, papa. Jy moet kom. Jy moet effing try. Because I'm telling you today, as a person that represents, and you know that, every race, every human in this country, I'm not a racist, maar jy moet nou een keer vir my hoor, ek is 'n boer. Jy gaan dit uit, maak nie saak wat my politiek is nie, jy moet een ding van my hoor, if that day comes, if that man gets up, as a child which he is, that has not even carried a assegai, if that man decides to take on the white people of this country, I want you to record this, I want you to take it to whoever the hell you want to. If that man gets up in this country and does what he said and threatened he would do, then I am telling you that day, Jacques, no matter my influence in this country, even if it's 100 men, that day we will defend ourselves with everything and all that we've got. And let me quickly tell you, ons skrikkie vir koue pampoenie, ons sal vir hulle toner. Jy moet nou mooi hoor. I am not a person that gets very, very violent, but I used to. So to go find that violence in my heart to protect an ethnicity, to protect the people, I'll go find it. And the difference between me and that idiot is that I've been to war, okay? I was trained. So he mustn't threaten us. And that's the difference, Jacques. I'm sorry, with the current leadership that we've got in politics and the people that are with us, ons gaan nie terugstaan nie. And I'm telling him now, if the people in this country think you'll just take land, if you can just take away our property, and that goes for the coloureds, that goes for the whites, and the moderate black and Indian in this country. Because Jacques, here's another group of people that also speak Afrikaans. Dis die kleringgemeenskap. Where are they? Where's their leaders? I'll tell you where their leaders are. Their leaders are either far left, they are either very, very kham, they are very, very shit, they are very, very interrogating, and they are very, very racist. Now I'm telling you now, I represent in our party the coloured community, the First Nation community that stretches from Cape Town right through to Uppington and beyond. We represent those that would rather live in peace and would rather be in the middle than go to war. Maar jy moet ons nie druk nie. Dit is so ver as wat ek vanaand gaan op daai. Jy moet ons nie druk nie. Because you will underestimate us. Because if we stand together, form a chain, go back to our mind, remember what we were told, it will be very difficult for you just to get up. I saw another guy post the other day Hulle is maar net 3 miljoen. Hulle is maar nou net soveel, ons is 50 miljoen. Man, jy kan nie eens 'n taxi op tyd kry nie. Die president kan nie eens op tyd 'n meeting hê nie. Nou wil jy kom donder oorlog met ons voer. Jy sal kakkou maat. So I'm just saying, I'm at that stage now, Jacques, where I look at all the politicians and all of them are talking nice en vrede en kakkenare terwyl ons eintlik op 'n oorlog klaar is. Now I'm not talking about the people, that are out there. Jacques, there's 1,950 people that say they represent the Suid-Afrikaner, die Afrikaner, die Suidlanders, die binnelanders, die buitelanders, die Noordlanders en die Ooslanders. Daar's soveel landers in hierdie land, ons is die mekaar om na watter bly die tent toe te hardloop as die kakspad. Wie is die Suid-Afrikaanse Afrikaner, demokratiese verkose leier in die land? Waar is hy? Dis nie die Vryheidsfront nie. Dis nie die DA. Dis beslis nie die ANC nie. Die PA is geskool op die kleuringstem. Dis 'n feit. Die IFP is die Zulu stem. Jacques, wie is die man of die vrou wat hulle gesê het, praat namens ons 3 miljoen. Ons het nie so iemand nie, ons soek so iemand en ons wag, want hierdie land se Afrikaners het vragtig iemand nodig en iemand wat sal opstaan en sê, kom ons moer hulle, in plaas van om te sê, kom ons gaan hof toe of konstitusie. Hierdie konstitusie begin my ook nou, soos daai konstabel wat my die ander dag afgetrek het. Hulle begin my nou te irriteer. So ek is nou jammer, Jacques, ek klink nou verskriklik ondemokraties, maar hulle gat. Ek sê dit vir hulle die raad, ek sal dit vir hulle sê die parlement, en ek sal dit vir hulle sê in Amerika. Ons wat boere is, ons praat nou vir die ou wat koffie drink, dat hy tole krul, wat koffie 3/4 en 3/4 bottel brandewyn, ons sal vir jou, luister, ons sal vir jou moer oor 'n braai, my broer. En jy sal tweede kom en lei die brand, blykbaar. Sê maar net.
So ek dink jy het sopas ons laaste topic het jy gecover. I think you covered the last topic. It was the way forward for the white people in South Africa, but I think we can add to that other minority groups as well, our colored communities and our Indian community. So ek dink jy het dit klaar gecover, in my opinie. So.
Jacques, ten slotte, ons het nie leiers nie. We don't have leadership. They all sitting, 400 of them in parliament, and they are gutless, they are cowards, they look after themselves, and there's not one of those parties like us, Jacques, I'm sorry, that sits here day in, day out. No parliamentary salaries, no party salaries, no expenses, and we fight. And I don't know, ek wil eindig om te sê, ek weet nie, Jacques. Ek bid al vir 5 jaar, dat die UIM net 'n deurbraak kan kry. Maar ek dink hy draai. Of ek lees verkeerd. I think it's turning, Jacques. And people are slowly but surely saying, we need a leader that will be able to fight. Here, in Africa, and in the world for them. Ek lyk nogal mooi in 'n suit, Jacques. Ek was nogal by hoë parties, ek was al in Buckingham Palace. Ek ken van man. Maar is tyd dat ons daai suits begin uitpak, en dat ons begin sê, ons trek lyne. Hierdie mense het al soveel lyne getrek, hulle kan 'n rugby stadion vol. Ek is gatvol vir lyne. Is tyd dat ons begin opstaan en ons stem hoor, en die eerste begin is daai eerste stap in Amerika. Dis waar ons die lyne gaan neersit.
Thanks, Express. Ek weet nie of daar nog iets is wat jy wil sê nie. Ek dink that we covered all the topics tonight. Dit was 'n goeie gesprek, so ek weet nie if you have a final word before we say goodbye or say goodnight, go ahead.
Yeah, Jacques, 3 things. I've made many bad mistakes in my life. One of the good things I did was to give my life to God. And the God that I follow says to me that I can be forgiven, that my sins can be wiped out, and that we live according to the principles of our God, and that is what the UIM is founded on. See. So I love my God, and it seems that we need more God. Not everybody is a Christian, not everybody follows the principle. But if you feel that you're a good person, you're close to God, my God will enter parliament with me. my God will enter this battle with me. And so will He for you. So I am heart full of people saying, why do I always talk about God in politics? It's because you took Him out of politics that we are in trouble. So that will never change. En ek gaan dit elke dag sê. Tweedens, Boet, kom ek sê vir jou. There's a lot of people that love us. We don't just have people that write what those other people write. Ek skaar my nie aan hulle nie. Want 365 keer in die Bybel staan dit. Jy is nie alleen nie. Ek is met jou. Dis die UIM. Dis die UIM se mense. Ja, ek het al baie gewankel. Ek het al baie geworry. Ek het al baie gesê moet ek aangaan. Wat moet ek doen? I'm very clear where my fight lies. Dis hy. Saam met julle. En dan laastens, Jacques, baie belangrik, ek is baie lief vir julle. I love you, and I love the people of this country with so much. So aan al die manne wat vanaand boer, waar dit droog is, ek sien nou Burger beklei nog steeds vir bidde, stik by die boere. Daar's die mense daar, jy moet sien wat skryf hulle oor die boere, dat die boere die hele tyd bak kan staan en die hele tyd vra vir almose. Gaan boere bietjie. Boere is nie maklik nie. So, aan die ouens op die plase vanaand, aan die ouens wat ons lyne stap, ons vrouens, ons kinders, ons polisiemanne, almal in uniform. Ons dink aan julle, ons is baie lief vir julle. Die nurses in die hospitale, die dokters, behalwe nou een dokter. Maar vir die res, blessings. My gebed is dat hierdie land nie teruggaan na waar ons was nie, maar dat hierdie land sy toekoms deur genade, deur maniere, deur respek en wet en orde sal terugbring na 'n land wat ons baie lief voor het, and I ask that every day, and that's what we're fighting for. So God bless to everybody that came tonight. Thank you for giving me the time. And ja, Jacques, jy laat my bloed kook, and that keeps me alive. So thank you very much. God bless you. And God bless everybody else.
Dankie Pres, dankie dat jy gekom het. Ons praat weer met jou.
Ja, ek dink dat jy ons huis toe in stilte.
Ek gaan gou good night sê. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
There you have it, folks. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope you found it interesting. Harde waarheid, harde woorde. Sit maar hier so en 'n mens raak maar ontsteld as jy nou al hierdie goed luister en jy dink aan al hierdie goeters en baie keer dan kom die kraas woorde maar uit, maar ons is, jy weet, dis een ding van ons wat ek kan sê van die UIM. Ons het nog nooit in ons lewe van 'n teleprompter afgepraat nie. Ons het nog nooit in ons lewe flashcards gebruik nie. Ons berei nie speeches voor nie, soos julle kan sien. Ons praat uit die hart uit. En as 'n mens uit die hart uit praat, dan praat jy soos wat dit maar opkom. Dankie vir julle wat gekyk het vanaand. Thank you for everybody, to everyone that joined tonight. Thank you very much. I know it's late. It took an hour and a half. We tried to keep it under an hour, but there's just too much to say. Thank you to everyone. Have a great night. Keep fighting the good fight. I want to tip my hat tonight to all the people in South Africa that are on the same path as us, that are fighting the good fight, that have the people of South Africa's interests, as their primary concern. Die mense wat regtig omgee vir die mense van hierdie land. Ek wil nie name noem nie. There's so many of them. Hulle weet wie hulle is. As mense wat julle sien, hulle is in Amerika, hulle praat met die mense aan daai kant. Daar's baie goeie mense in Suid-Afrika wat, jy weet, die son net wil sien skyn oor almal se koppe. And that is at the end of the day what we all, that's the only thing that we want. We just want to secure a future for our families and our children. We don't want our families to go to America. We don't want our families to immigrate and our friends to immigrate. We want to create a country that, we want to keep them here. There's no reason why we should leave. I know people are leaving for good reasons, and I know that they are leaving because they want better lives for their families and opportunities, but it shouldn't be that way. And we are fighting really hard to make sure that people feel welcome in South Africa and that they have opportunities in South Africa and dat hulle hier wil wees en dat hulle hier veilig voel en geleenthede kan hê. Dis waarvoor ons beklei. Ek gaan nêrens heen nie. En ek weet van baie van ons UIM-lede en mense wat in die UIM is wat nêrens heen gaan nie. We are here to stay. Ons families is hier, ons vriende is hier. Ons is hier gebore, ons is lief vir die land. En ons gaan aanhou fight. So help ons asseblief. Support ons en dink aan ons. En weer eens baie dankie. Julle moet 'n lekker aand hê, 'n lekker week hê. En ons gesels gou weer. Thank you everyone for joining and we'll chat soon. Good night.